So you can start.
All right. So before we start with the session, let me give you a brief introduction about our today's speaker, our proud alumni, Lendl and Tao. So Lendl has completed his mechanical engineering, and after that, he worked for 5 years, and then he joined Aegis. And after joining Aegis, I mean, he completed our PGP course, and after that, he got placed into Morningstar as credit rating analyst. So I know him very well, and I taught him. So it was. I mean, he. If I say he is a public speaker, he always like to talk. He always like to share his views, and he always guided everyone in his. In his class as well as to his juniors. So welcome, Landon. It's nice that you were a student and you are now being our speaker here. So with that,
Thanks.
you can start with the session. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. It feels really nice to be here. Not as a student, as an alumni, and thank you for the wonderful introduction. It felt really nice. Just looking at you now took me back to our days when you used to teach us and all the queries we used to ask. I must say, I do kind of miss my time at Aegis, but I'm really glad to be back, and I hope I'll be able to help the students there.
Sure, sure. So you can start with your session, Landon.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So as I can see, as in like from the participants, I've met most of you all. I think most of you all know me, but I'll still do a quick introduction. Also, like if it's not a compulsion, but if you all want, and cause we know each other and we're all comfortable, if you all are comfortable, we can put our cameras on. But it's not a compulsion. I know I have also been a student and not put my camera on and just listen. But if you all want to make it more interactive and make this more easier for me, you can put a camera on so I can also see you all and feel like okay, I'm interacting with you guys. Uh, okay, so I'll wait for like a couple of seconds to see if there are volunteers who put their camera on. If not, also it's fine. Okay, so like Amit sir introduced me, I still like to go ahead and give a small brief introduction about myself, a little in depth on what I did in those 5 years. So, like Amit sir said, I did my mechanical engineering, and it was in my third year of engineering, I realized that I was not that much into engineering. As in, I realized that I was more into event management, organizing events, understanding people, connecting with them. And during my final year of engineering, I had an opportunity to start a community-based venture, which was similar to the lines of how Zepto functions right now, or how Big Basket functioned earlier. And it led to me starting my first startup, which is a community-based venture. Within the Catholic community, I used to deliver groceries. It is like an e-commerce website back in 2016. It was an initiative. I set things into motion. I started out there. I pursued that venture for a year. I learned quite a lot of business. I understood a lot of meeting people. I improved a lot on my communication, how to present, what people want to hear. I realized a lot on where I had to improve, where I need to go. After my experience in the startup, so for sure it failed, it didn't work out. But then after assessing myself, I realized that what is the next step in my life? And the next step was like I need to learn how to sell because I need to learn how to present myself to the world if one day in the future I need to start a business of my own. So then I joined another startup, uh, and this startup was pertaining to the graduation I'd done, that was mechanical engineering, and I used to sell laser cutting machines. So we used to provide manufacturing solutions to companies. Over there, I worked for 1 year. I traveled across different states, Karnataka, Gujarat, even Maharashtra, and we sold these machines. After the experience here, I realized that the startup life was having an effect on me. I was too erratic, as in I used to work at my times, I used to go back home at my times. There was no discipline. So, in order to get corporate experience, I joined Gallagher Insurance, Pune. And I joined as a process associate, and in a period of 3 years, after the first year, I switched. I was promoted to an analyst. At Gallagher, I was actually introduced to the field of data science. I majority of my work dealt with working in Excel reports, understanding insurance claims data, and over there I came across like majority. I improved my Excel skills, and also I dabbled in a little bit of macros using Visual Basics and like helping the team with automation. Uh, when COVID struck, I realized that I need to reassess myself. I need to see where I was heading in life, and that's when through an alumni only I came to know about Aegis, and I decided, okay, now I need to upskill myself, and hence I joined Aegis. And after my wonderful time at Aegis, certain highs, certain lows, I finally now I'm currently working at Morningstar, Navi Mumbai Vashi, as a credit ratings analyst in fintech. So in short, like if I have to put it, uh, I am a non-tech guy. Okay, so I've met you all in person, so I know that some of you all are non-technical, some of you all are technical, some have that advantage. So today's the topic which I chose was how to prepare for campus placements. I could have chosen other things to speak on, but then I felt that this would be an appropriate topic to speak on because like a couple of months ago, I was giving my own campus placements. I will be sharing with you all the methods I realized and the mistakes I have made, what I learned from my mistakes, and how I was able to get like three offers from the five interviews I had given. And if these learnings which I realized of mine, if it would help any of you all, that would benefit the college and also help me feel good because I know that my learnings have helped someone else. So like the agenda initially I decided was number one was self-assessment. So I understand if someone could just confirm this, I was told that your campus placements will be beginning from December 15th. So if someone could confirm this with me, like, am I right?
No, Lendl. They would be like starting from Feb first week or maybe Jan end.
Oh, okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Rati. Good to see you. Good to hear you all. Finally, I feel like I'm having a conversation and not talking
Good
to
to
just
see you
screen.
too, Lendl.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so that's even better. So I was told December 15, but if it's Jan end, first week of Feb, then you guys have ample of time and you can accordingly plan and prepare for it. Okay, so I'll give you my experience one. So technically, our campus placements should have begun in like mid-August or like and but there was a slight delay. So I'll give you my example on how I prepared and when it came to self-assessment. So like I said, I come from a non-tech background. I had never studied coding. Now I'll be confessing a few things during my course, which may seem come across as a surprise. Okay, so Python as a language, that was the first for me. I'm not kidding, but if loop, for loop, if else, for the first 3 months, everything went over my head. How do I put it? I may have got the worst marks in the Python exam in our batch, during the coding exam, and I was like, making sense of it was difficult. I'm like, what is happening? Like if for loop, people were like just normally getting. I'm like, what is happening? Why is it happening? Why do I have to leave space? Where is the semicolon? Like everyone used to talk about there's a lot of semicolon पे एक बड़ा error आता है. But I'm like, why is this happening? It didn't make sense. Even when it came to machine learning, when like you could ask Amir sir as well. When sir used to teach, I used to get the logic of the algorithm. I used to understand what is happening, why it is happening. I used to even think one step ahead. Okay, so like, but then when it came to coding, when you had to put that logic down on your computer on your screen, I'm like, I couldn't fathom like that one line of code that that simple concept of a train test split didn't make sense to me. I'm like, how come this one line of code is condensing everything that we studied? So in the fourth month of my fourth month, when we had started the second of how do I say it, second trimester in at Aegis, I realized that I really need to assess myself. Where am I going? What I need to learn? And I thought that okay, now I have to devote extra time to Python and understanding what is happening, as well as implementation of machine learning. Because conceptually, if you ask me, I will be able to explain to each and every algorithm what is happening. But if you ask me to put it in code, I'll be like, okay, wait, I need to refer something. I need to refer to templates. What are you guys referring to? Also, one funny thing was like I was under the impression that we need to buy hard the lines of code, and it was like, like the fifth, sixth month, my fellow colleagues are like, Lendl, no, there's a template ready. For each template, we use a particular code. So you might say I was getting the complex things, but the little basic things which are necessary, I was lacking in those. So that's when I like, that's where the self-assessment came in, understanding what I know and understanding what I didn't know. And this was a continuous process. Like for you guys right now, like you said, you have 2 months left, and from my understanding, you all might be working on your capstone projects, and this capstone project would thoroughly be putting to test the skills you have learned in the past 10 to 11 months. So this would be the most appropriate time for you all to assess what you guys know and what you guys do not know. And the assessment also, I would say, should be on a couple of levels. Like say, the first would be the subjects you'll have learned, the technical skills you know, like understanding which subjects you all knew, which subjects you all know. Like for me, my strengths were Power BI, Tableau. Even though like initially it started off slow, my strengths were Power BI, Tableau, machine learning, and Python. Eventually, like right before the interviews, I was like, okay, now I'm confident on Python. Fun fact: the role I was hired for at Monisha was only based on was a Python test, and it's I cleared. So that was a big plus, big booster for my confidence. Also, the second level of assessment, okay, and my weaknesses, like I said, I was not that much into deep learning. Or to be honest, I did not prepare if a single thing about like even now, if you ask me the difference between ENN and CNN, like yeah, like on top of my head, I would give it to you. In the interview, if I was asked, I just say, sir, I am not, I've not studied it, and I had a very valid reason to, like even you're saying that you've not studied something, ensure that you have a valid reason to not studying it. Like, this is something which I use. So I would say I would tell the interviewer that I come from a non-tech background field. I have genuine curiosity in the field of artificial intelligence and data science. But as a starter, I'd like to start off with data science. I'm more interested in statistics, analyzing the data, visualizing the data, plotting, seeing what results the data would give me. Artificial intelligence, ANN, CNN is the next level. Like once I'm comfortable with handling the data on a smaller level, then I would go on and learn that. So if I have to improve, if I have to say become a master at one thing, I'd first pick this first, and later on in line, later on down the line, I would then make the switch to AN and CNN because I've seen certain students like and even a lot in the AI community, the data science community, because artificial intelligence is a really fancy term. It's like how sir used to say that you're trying to hit a nail with a bulldozer. You hit a nail with a hammer, so use your hammer and make sure your hammer is a good one. So preparing for your interviews is like making sure you know what your tools are. When I speak about assessment, I'm trying to. I hope each one of you all understands what is there in your arsenal, what you are good at, and most importantly, what you are not good at, where you are lacking. So you know, okay, what things to avoid mostly in an interview. So I knew for a fact that deep learning is not my cup of tea. But I knew very well how to dodge it if that question came. I was honest about it, so like I am not that much interested in deep learning, but I'd focus more on statistics, analyzing data, telling me what numbers is, and I should tell them that I'm inclined towards this. And interviewers on the whole, they respect this. They appreciate, in fact, appreciated that the guy in front of them is not how they say beating around the bush. Later, when I share one of my experiences of an interview, you will understand that what I'm exactly telling about. So that they really appreciate that you're honest, and they are also able to see through that. Okay, if he doesn't know something, or he or she doesn't know something, he doesn't know it. But if he knows something, he knows it well. So preparation is key. So anyway, like coming back to assessment, I would say assess your skills. Assess. I understand we've been taught a number of subjects, like around 7 to 8 subjects in the last 10 months, and even on a personal level, it's not. It's difficult to grasp. Like there are a lot of things you're learning, but when you start giving interviews, you realize that you have learned 7 to 8 subjects. Like there's SQL, Python, like the big four: SQL, Python, machine learning, and statistics. This is a must. You have to know these. Then comes the Power BI, Tableau. But when you start going to the interviews, you realize that the interviewers have different requests. Some companies only want Python heavy students. Some companies only are focused on students who know a lot of SQL. Some students like statistics is a must everywhere. So there is no alternative to skipping statistics. But it's still, stats is still easy and advanced stats as well. And machine learning, it depends as in you won't get machine learning work off the bat, but having an understanding of it really helps. So it's up to you guys to decide which is your strong subject. Because if you ask me, my strong subjects were statistics and machine learning. The implementation, when it came to Python and SQL, I had to slog. This is something I continuously worked on. So that was one level of assessment. The second level of assessment is what do you bring to the table? How are you different when it comes to your peers? Now, I don't want to put it across in this way, but we are all in a competition, and competitiveness is good, because if there is a spirit of competition, then only the entire bunch, your entire batch as a whole, would improve together, because you guys are competing with each other, also helping each other grow. And then when you know there is a competitive spirit, that's when you realize that you guys want to grow. You all are ready to hit the next level. So now the second level would be to understand how are you as an individual, how each one of y'all are different from the rest. So initially, I shared my experience. Like I had my own startup. I did sales. Over there, I learned how to speak, how to present myself. I didn't learn. Actually, I made a lot of mistakes. I stumbled. I was nervous. I forgot. There were a lot of filler words. Now, and with practice, I was able to present myself better. So similarly, you guys come with a lot of experiences. You guys had your own personal experiences. I know some of y'all have been working, some of y'all have done some internships, I guess some of y'all are fresh out of college, but even those college experiences matter. There is something in each one of you which is special and unique only to you, and which uh, you know the most well about. So, like, there's something known as a SWOT analysis: strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and threats. So, if you all actually do it, like, there is you don't have to read much into it. Uh, uh, just identify what y'all are good at, identify what y'all are weak at. More importantly, see where all the opportunities lie, and based on your weaknesses, like what threats in this particular scenario, like not knowing certain stuff in the interview, how would you deal with that? So, a self-assessment is very necessary, because before an interview, knowing where you stand, like in your batch also, like honestly, when you ask me, I should think of myself as um, like the least qualified to be a data scientist. Okay, like this was my mindset back then. Like another agenda is about mindset, which helps down the interview. But when I started off my campus placements, I I'm not kidding you. I really looked at myself as someone who's like, okay, I'm weak technically. I'm weak technically. I should say it. It was like reinforcement learning. It's like the words out of my mouth go programming my subconscious, and I should say it. Why am I saying it? Why am I saying it? And I should look like it. And that used to stop me from tackling the problems. And the only solution to this was then to just go and pick up a data set and just solve. And solve by yourself. Do not rely on anyone. Solve based on your own understanding. Solve based on how you look at the data, why are you interpreting it, and what do you feel like. If you're using a particular algorithm, understand why you're using it. Don't just use it for the sake of using it. अच्छा ठीक है, regression का problem है तो सारे regression के algorithm लगा दिए. अच्छा classification problem है तो सारा classification लगा दिया. नहीं, there has to be a particular reason. And these things came slowly to me, And honestly, even practicing, I started practicing really late. Like I was like, I used to always look for the easy way out, where I was like, I'm sharing my mistakes right now, so that I hope that you guys, if our mistakes are similar, you all realize you all realize yourselves catching, you all realize that you catch yourself somewhere, that you also might be making the same mistake, and then hold back, and then see that you should be doing the right thing. So what I did was I did not practice initially. Like the 7 to 8 months, I was reliant on my friends and all. I said, "Okay, how do you do this?" I was like, "Concept समझ गया तो बस हो गया." But I'm like, see, you can explain the concept, but then in the real world, there people are expecting you to do the work. They are paying you decent money for them to get results. So it's up to us. So anyway, as far as assessment, like on a personal level, my skills were my communication and understanding people. I focused on building relations. Like I made sure that I went and spoke to a lot of people. So that was my strength. So now this like just for a brief for like 2 3 seconds, just look back, assess yourself, and each one of y'all will have any strength. That strength can be anything. It can be maybe your observational, maybe you have logical, strong analytical skills, or anything, and that is unique to you. These skills may be common across the board, but identification, knowing what you're good at, and knowing where you can improve is a must. Like everything else, like from the interview starts from here. So that was the assessment. Then comes like before I go to the do's and don'ts, I'd like to talk about the mindset before an interview and the whole campus placement atmosphere. So like I had mentioned about the competitiveness spirit, and this is a competition. Life is a competition, but then you have to play the game, and you have to play the game to your benefit. So at this time you'll be realizing also that some people are making their projects. Sometimes you'll be like, okay, your project is good. Other people, you may have enough portfolio projects. I had like 3 portfolio projects, and I was just barely making it. I'm not even kidding it. But I was like, is this enough? Is this enough? And I was like, fine. Then I had another backup one. I'm like, I need to make it. I need to make it. While studying, while practicing only, I started working on my portfolio projects. Some students may have like 5 to 10. Some people have five. Some people had three. I had four. Like the fourth one also, I made during once the campus placement began. But one thing is like, do not feel discouraged or do not how do I say? Do not let what others are doing affect you. The most important thing is, and over here, knowing yourself matters. Because once you know yourself, once you know what you are, once you've assessed yourself, once you know your strengths, once you know what you're good at, that this will give you confidence during the interviews. Like during the interviews, I knew that if I'm asked a particular question on a particular topic, and if I have studied that topic, I will answer everything there is to that topic. And preparation is key. Like this, all the faculty members would definitely and constantly be telling you, like, you guys have to prepare. The big four subjects you have to know in and out, like stats, like SQL, Python, and machine learning. You have to know them. There is no option, and it's easy. Like it may look tough, and I'm pretty sure that you guys must have learned it because I remember when I had seen you all initially, all were freshers, you all had doubts, but then I could see that your batch had a lot of potential. Like you all were smart, and you all learned from the faculty as well, and you all learned from us. You all even and all of most of you all interacted with us, and that was really nice to see. So I'm pretty sure I'm not worried about you guys not knowing. So my only concern would be that each one of you all assess yourselves, understand where you all are strong, which are your strong points, which subjects you all know, which subjects needs improvement, and so this was the assessment aspect. When coming to an interview, the mindset basically. So do not let, like I was saying, do not let what someone else has done affect you. Because initially this affected me, and like even when our campus placements began, like the first week when the aptitude tests were going on, and certain people were getting selected, and I wasn't getting selected. So then I'm like, oh, this it starts bothering you. Then even sometimes, like because of my past experience, I was fortunate enough to get shortlisted. A couple of friends were not getting shortlisted. So then it was like a merry-go-round. Like everyone got opportunities equally, but then the fact that the companies which came, like initially I remember Zoho and Fleek had come, and they had like full stack developer requirements, and we were like panicking, we were like freaking out. I'm like, wait, we haven't studied all this. If you all want a full stack developer, why all like the Python we have learned and the Python the industry requires, it's not on the same level. And it really took a toll on us. Like, do we really know? Is this course really worth it? Should we have done it? And then it was like when you do not have enough opportunities and when you're lacking faith in yourself, your insecurities start coming up. And this is the time when you as a group, like I unfortunately I had really good roommates. Like we were four of us, and Hari, Kailash, and Siddhant. And the negativity starts creeping in. I'm like, yeah, opportunities are coming and going, we're not doing well. Like the first week was tough for all of us. But then, Taranjit ma'am and even the faculty members, they really helped us. Nida ma'am, Amir sir, they all came and they spoke to us. Like, guys, hold on, be patient. Opportunities will come. Opportunities will come. This time looks tough. Because our expectation was, day zero aa gaya, from 15 of us, at least 7, 8 have offers. Like the remaining are going to the second round. Our day zero came and nothing happened. And we were like, okay, what? 1 week went and nothing happened. Then we realized that the first week of campus placement, there were like 2, 3 like holidays scheduled. So companies were still like laid back. The expected number of companies didn't come. And in this entire process, like us as a unit, a batch of 15 as a unit, being there for each other, even when the negativity was there. Like, like we're all really sad people, but still consoling each other. I'm like, Arey, yaar, theek hai, opportunity nahi aa raha hai, but kar lege. And we like, just keep faith, have faith. We were trying to boost each other. Like when you see you're trying to boost your own colleague, but even you're sad and you can see the sadness on each other's faces, but I'm like, Asana, theek hai. I'm pretty sure even you guys have come and spoken to us. Like I remember Pratik, Vipul, and even Nitish, all of you all coming and talking to us. You'll have seen how we were then, and you can see the difference right now. And I remember sharing my experiences like, yo, companies have come. I remember after the Zoho interview also, Zoho test also. I'm like, I couldn't solve anything. I'm like, wait, what I learned was enough or no? So basically, when I went back home, as in during in September, I left for my hometown, and I followed the same steps I'm giving you all. I actually assessed myself. I'm like, okay, after giving a couple of how to say interviews, like the aptitude test, I realized, okay, I'm still lacking. I realized that even after studying and preparing myself for the campus placements, during the interviews, I realized I'm still lacking. I'm still missing out. there is something still missing. So what do I do? Okay, now this, okay, I hope all of you have a HackerRank account. Okay, I opened a HackerRank account during the campus placements. Okay, now I'm sure my faculty will be very angry because I'm saying this. So, but I did what had to be done there. It's like better late than never. Like, so there I durostai basically. So how do I say it? I hope you all have HackerRanks. Keep practicing. I practiced Python, SQL, both, a lot of it. So when I was not able to clear certain interviews, the aptitude test, I was like, okay, wait. So based on the companies I was getting shortlisted on, I have to clear it. I read through the JDs. I started practicing SQL, started practicing Python, whatever little I knew. Because I was like, okay, if the companies which are coming now expecting full stack developers, maybe there will be companies which are at our level, which may feel like, okay, which justify what we have studied, and that did happen, but it took time. Like initially, see, what we realize is first the big companies come, and if you're able to crack the big companies, then there's nothing but the best for you. But the big companies which come also require you to know big stuff. Also require you all to be good at what you do. And when I'm saying good, I really mean like they expect you all to be good. Because I remember there were students even with 18 LPA package, and it was good to see them. It was good to see them. We also wanted to be there, but it's fine. Like that's when the assessment helps you. That's when you're able to identify, okay, at each step, okay, what did I lack here? What did I have that this person, what did that person have that I didn't have? How can I improve? And your friends, like your discussion with each other, like our group was, we had one very good thing, because we really discussed a lot of among ourselves, like even the roommates where we lived. I believe in you guys share rooms and you all live close by. So I hope this thing is there between you guys as well. You all discuss any topics. I remember in Bhupesh sir's uh, sessions where he used to make us come and present an algorithm each day. So that was a wonderful session. A lot of discussions and learnings happened there as well. So in all, like, do not let the negativity creep in. As in now, you are still 1 month away from the campus placements. So for now, I would ask you all to focus on, do the self-assessment, understand where you're good at, where you need to improve, and dedicatedly work towards improving them. And even the improvement doesn't happen like, okay, theek hai, now this weekend I'll do Python, and by Monday I'll be a Python expert. No, it doesn't work like that. It has to be, okay, this day I will do 1 hour of Python. Trust me, even if you start right now, even if you say, like, let's say worst case scenario, I'm not kidding y'all. I was the worst case scenario in my batch. I'm not even kidding y'all. I started learning, like focusing on ML, like really right at the end. I'm like, okay, I understood the concept, but then you have to, learn it again and again so that it stays. So I'm like, okay, make notes, start writing. You do not clear this interview, so start writing till the next interview, just make notes, make notes. I wrote down 2 books. I'm not even kidding. I have those 2 books now. I remember these books will be there with me for a lifetime. These notes will be there throughout your lifetime. So I wrote down these notes. So if any of you all feel that, okay, campus placements are coming, I feel that there is a lack of preparation. I don't think there's hope. No, do not feel like that. There is hope. You have got to prepare. Like, though it's like there's this term known as Kaizen in Japanese. It stands for continuous improvement. I had learned this in the insurance company I was working. So I looked for continuous improvement then. So when you're, how do I say, when you want to once your assessment is done, and if you feel like you're lacking in Python or any other subject, focus that much on that subject. Give 1 hour a day, 1 hour a day to Python. And see, during college, teachers, this is the basic advice. I'm not telling you all anything that you already don't know. I am not telling you all anything that you already don't know. But these are the things which are majorly looked upon. They're not looked at. People miss these steps. Like, they seem pretty basic. I'm like, Asam, Lentil is telling me generic stuff. I already know this. But these are the things which a lot of people miss. And I'm not kidding you. I have seen students in my batch itself miss it. And it goes little things, right from how your resume is made, how it looks, even like crossing the T's and dotting the I's, even the format. Is there a neat border? Is there a font? The little things matter, and it's these little things which add up, which build an impression. I will come to this stage once I'm done with the mindset. So anyway, so when you still like, once you have done the assessment, once you start, do 1 hour of Python, do 1 hour of machine learning, do 1 hour of SQL, do 1 hour of statistics. And Tableau and like Power BI is a must. Actually, so it's an add-on. You know that tool now. People will just hire you for that. I'm not kidding you. So once this is done, once you start your daily practice, you will see that okay, you will start gaining confidence, because confidence only comes with preparation. You can't get confidence in the market by आधा किलो confidence देना नहीं. Confidence comes based on the faith you have in your abilities, and the faith in your abilities only comes because you know that you have solved some things. Like when you go to HackerRank and you solve, okay, whatever, even the easy level stuff, I only solved the easy level question. I used to go there and say, okay, I'm able to solve this. Okay, now I'm able to solve this. If I'm not able to solve this, I have to call my roommate. How do I solve this? He should show me the logic. Acha, so this is it. For in that particular moment, I see even for okay, हाँ, ऐसा type का problem आया, so I'm going to use this particular logic or by heart this line of code. Once you'll by heart it, but the next time you get it, because okay, this was done back then, and you slowly make improvements. And basically, confidence also is giving yourself proof that you are able to solve it, and this actually affects your mindset. No, because if you're not practicing, if you are not preparing, you are not giving your mind the proof that you are capable of solving a particular problem. But on the other side, if you are practicing daily, if you are solving daily, if you are able to get the answer, if your code is running, this tells your subconscious that okay, this particular person, like Vrati over here, Nitesh, Vipul, Pratik, all of y'all individually you all solve. You all are able to solve this. Your mind is listening to you. And whenever that negativity comes, okay, maybe I am not clearing, I didn't clear this round of interview, that it was too tough. But then you don't feel that bad, because you know, okay, your mindset would be okay, this what was asked today, I had not done earlier. What was asked today, I had not done earlier. But if something which I had done earlier came, I'm sure I would have cracked it. So this is the mindset which helps you, and it is only with preparation that comes. Like failing to prepare is basically preparing to fail. Benjamin Franklin said this. So I really want you guys to prepare, and there's no best time than this. And like considering your placements would be in Jan and first week of Feb, it is the perfect time. I think there's like you'll have like a good amount of time, and simultaneously you'll be working on your capstone projects. So implementing what you learn in your capstone projects is like the capstone project is basically what taught me data science, like through and through. Like I while doing the project, I realized I started improving in a lot of skills. Okay, my Python, I improved in Python only during my capstone project. So this was about the mindset. I'd now like to talk about the interview phase, when interviews come, what to expect during campus placements, how to maneuver that phase. So the first week, like the first, that is ground zero, day zero. Day zero is basically you expect a lot of companies to come, but they may come, they may not come. First of all, understand the duration. You're not entering a battle. Like if look at campus placements as war, not a battle. It's not a one-day fight. It's going to be a war, and the war will be stressed for a period of 1 and 2 months, 3 months, ti- that the war would be stressed till you win the war. And by you winning the war, I would say is by you getting the job. So, and in this, until you getting the job, one thing I'm really sure of is that Aegis, the CMC team would make would they really go through hell and back. I have seen them. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, they will be there with you till the end. They will make sure they will bring opportunities always. They will always make sure you have an opportunity. Now it is up to you all individually to make sure that you grab that opportunity, to make sure that you are prepared. Even this right now is them preparing you all for that opportunity which they are about to bring. So tali do haath se basti hai. So the CMC team can do their part. It is here you guys have to do your part. And even in doing this part, it's not that okay on the first time only tali baj gayi, okay, ha, it's a match. No, it takes time, till that rhythm comes, till the right opportunity comes, until you are actually prepared, for that opportunity. So, like the first week would be an important week because there the major companies come. It would be very good, if the colleges would be very happy if majority of all got placed in the first week. For us, it was a slow process because there were, like I said, there were holidays in the first week, so even we were really anxious, and that built up anxiety. So with you guys, like using us as an experience, I'm telling you all, like it will be a month long or a month or 2 month process, and this major learning of y'all would be happening in this. So the companies will come, so they will shortlist you on a couple of criterias. Some companies will have an aptitude test which will be open to all. Some companies will shortlist you based on your resume, and in your what they look at in your resume also is like who you are, your number of years of experience. Now, like so I had mentioned, I have 5 years of work experience, so I won't deny that actually helped me. I was so wherever there was an analyst. So my designation was a process analyst earlier. So that designation helped me get shortlisted. Now that was an advantage which I had over the rest of my batch, and I'm not going to deny that advantage. I would say that like that was a strength of mine. Like when I had assessed myself, that was a strength of mine. Similarly, but my projects were not that great. I had other batchmates of mine who had brilliant, amazing projects, and I even see them get placed only like solely on those projects. Because I remember even like Aditya had Kisan Dost, and that was a brilliant project of his. Hari and even Kailash, they had made amazing projects. So like I said, each one of y'all would have your strengths. Your resume should be a reflection of those strengths. Now, my resume, my strength was my work experience, and I made sure that came across in my resume. I'm sure the CMC team would be helping you all with your resumes. So please make sure you make the most of it. And very important thing, do not take resume making lightly. Please, like I have seen in my batch as well. I've seen I have because and with my work experience and the number of resumes I have made, I am very particular about how, see one thing being in sales and being in business. I realized being in sales, I realized one thing: the product doesn't matter. The product doesn't matter. How the product is presented is what matters. So right now, if, as data science aspirants, you guys are a product for the data science industry. So right now, I would want you all to focus on how you guys are presenting yourself. So even the interviewer, do you know, like even the ATS system, like it takes 6 seconds for them to reject or accept you in the first level of interview. So that is not the case here because you will get a better, much better opportunity here. But keep that in mind. Just imagine when you're making your resume, make sure your font is right, make sure the spacing is right, make sure you have a border in your interview. They'll check like literally stalk your competitors' interviews, so stalk your batchmates, see what other people are making, see what they've added, see and make sure your resume is peer reviewed. Ask a number of people. If I changed my resume at least 3 times during the campus papers, thrice, because I was like not satisfied. Okay, because 1 week a number of companies came. I'm like, okay, wait, nothing has happened. I didn't get shortlisted. Something's wrong with my resume. Shuffled something, changed a few things. It is mostly removing a lot of stuff because the less you say is better, but keep it less, keep it precise, but make sure those are impactful. My mock interview with Bhavik Gandhi sir was a big eye opener for me because Bhavik Gandhi sir was like, Lentil, there is you have experience, but you lack technicality in your interview. And I was like, okay, because the projects I had done, like like the data sets, the number of rows, which algorithms used, why, my findings, like on my level, because he's like, and even because in my capstone, my responsibility was data cleaning more than building the algorithms. Data cleaning, handling the tools on Excel. That was I would say I had a really good grasp on Excel, like really good grasp. Like what I would say in my batch, what the time other students would take, say like say if they would take 10 hours to do it, I would do it in a couple of hours. Like I had my my experience in the insurance company and working on Excel data sets was is that what stood out. So Bhavik sir was like, why don't you write more about that? Why don't you write how you planned it? What was the cleaning? So when I said the strength assessment, even in your projects, when you are building the capstone projects, the what you have done, like your resumes, like say if you're a group of 3 or a group of 4, in your capstone project section, make sure that it's not the same. Like even in my batch, like we were 3 members, a group of 3, and each one of us had different things from the same capstone project, but each one of us have written different points based on how we have worked and what we have worked on. I wrote more on data cleaning. Karthik had written more on Python, and Ashish had written more on Tableau. So it worked like that. Play to your strengths. Your resume should be a reflection of who you are. Remember, you are the product, and presentation is key. Like there is a saying, "Jo dikta hai, wahi bikta hai." So I've seen students with a lot of talent, a lot of potential. They be like, okay, yeah, it's a technical job, it's a technical field. I will get it based on my technical skills. Yes, your technical skills matter, but if you're not able to present them, nobody will want to see what skills you have if your presentation is only like not good. So that was a big learning. This I shared with my batchmates as well, like how you all present yourself. And presentation starts right from the resume. Like everything has to be on point. Like literally, like go through it like 10 dozens of times. Like you know the this is generic advice, but I'm telling you, this generic advice is looked over every time, every batch. I have seen it in my batch as well. I've even asked my friends, guys, like sometimes I don't like, some people take positive criticism, some people don't take positive criticism. I have also peer reviewed my resumes with my faculty, with Taranjit ma'am, with Bhavik sir. So you guys as well, like show it to the faculty, show it to other people, what other people think, what they have. So that was about resume, about your resume. Going ahead, I would say your resumes go out. Some of you all may get shortlisted, or all of you all may get shortlisted. Then, like the companies will come. There'll be an open aptitude test. There'll be direct shortlisting, or there'll be you never know how and why they shortlist you. Honestly, like you honestly never know. If you're getting shortlisted, good for you. If you're not getting shortlisted, be patient. I'll repeat myself again. If you're getting shortlisted, good for you. Make sure you make most of that opportunity. Okay, because I got short, I got, and I was fortunate enough to get an opportunity to give 5 interviews. From that, I cleared three. I got three offers, and and this took time. This process took a period. It took a month for this process to complete. So one thing I realized is that my advantages and my experience helped me get shortlisted, and it was up to me. The onus was on me to make sure I am able to convert that. Okay, my friends who are freshers, like I'm saying freshers, they got opportunities but a little later. But when they did get the opportunities, I'm sure they cracked it. They got the job they wanted. Okay. Similarly for you guys, y'all do not lose hope, do not lose faith. Understand. See, like I said, when you're assessing yourself, you also have to assess your competitions. Like sometimes you might be like, okay, I feel okay, like someone in my batch is better than me. Okay, he or she is good at something, and I'm not good at something. So do not focus on this. This is a distraction. This is basically this mindset will hold you back rather than take you ahead. Because an interviewer is assessing everyone, but the interviewer, he or she wants to assess what is separate in you, what is different in you. I'm not kidding you. One interview, like okay, I'll come to the interviews. I'll just conclude this and come. So this was about the mindset. So the first, so like what to expect in the campus placements. That is the shortlisting criteria. Like I told you, there's two. The mindset which would go on while you're living, anxiety would be on an all-time high. I'm not kidding you. So just remember these words. You'll be anxious, you'll be nervous. But at the end of the day, in your roots, remember your time will come. The opportunity will come. All you have to do is sharpen your sword or, make sure your hammer is nice and fit so that when the rod is hot, you are able to strike. And when you strike well. Now comes the second scenario. Sometimes when you get an opportunity, when you strike, even when you hit the rod, and like this happened to me, my first interview, it was Anurag Group. So I was there in the final two. It was me, myself and Amisha. And I was like, okay, I guess both of us might get in. And I was really looking forward to the job because it was a job. It was an Excel based job. They started off with Excel, and machine learning would come later. So I was like, yeah. I was looking for the easy way out. I'm like, yeah, I want this job. Excel would be easy. And I thought, and based on my interview, it was a face-to-face interview. I was really confident I would get it, like really confident. And cause in my batch, everyone knew that I'm really good at Excel. Everyone's like, yeah, Lend is going to this job is fixed for Lend. But reality, so I didn't get the job. Okay, moment of truth, I didn't get the job, and I was honestly heartbroken. Like I was down and out. In that mood, that it actually I sank, and I sank for 2 3 days. I was like, okay, gone. And I was like, and honestly, I underestimated myself so much that I thought one opportunity has come. One company which is looking for what I was good at, that is Excel. And even in that company is not hiring me. As an Amisha took the job, and I'm really happy for her. She's happy there as well right now. So I was like, this opportunity is gone. But this rejection was a blessing in disguise. Like, I'll tell you how I turned that around. And I hope that if in someone goes through something like this, you're able to turn it around as well. So I used that rejection. I realized that okay, I got rejected. It's fine. Rejection is good. Sales taught me rejection, taught me how to handle rejection. So I was like, okay, I've got rejected. Now what option do I have? I realized that my easy option, I'll get a job based on Excel only, was a waste. I'm like, no, I've done this course. I've invested a good amount of money. I've invested a year of my life. I've learned these necessary skills. So it's time I test myself. So I'm like, okay, now there is no running from Python Lendl. You get up, go HackerRank, you practice wherever all the resources are, you go and you practice. And that is what forced me to level up. I'm telling you, I prepared myself solely during that 1 month of campus placements. And it was my preparation in this 1 month, like this exact time you guys are in. Actually, even later than this. I'm not even kidding you. I'm not even kidding you. Like, if say your campus placements in Jan end, I started preparing in January. Preparing. Like earlier before that, I'm like, yeah, अच्छा ठीक है. ये इसका है, linear regression ये करता है, classification ये करता है. I never went in the in-depth analysis. The in-depth analysis I started when I realized that by the superficial learning which I had done, जो ऊपर से ही सीखा था, that is not going to help. So, like even now, I will say, like I'll repeat myself. If there's any of y'all who feel that okay, yaar, I have not learned, I'm not studied enough, you are not late. You are not late. Trust me, you are not late. You guys are all capable, smart guys. You'll have guys and girls. Sorry, okay. So you'll have come till here, and I'm sure you'll easily crack it. But preparation, if you're not preparing, then I won't say easily. But if you're not preparing, then I'll be like, sure, he just will take care of you all. But just preparation from your side is a must. So that was about campus placements. Let me see if I'm missing anything. It's just like as of now, uh, prepare, stay calm, have faith in your preparation. If you are missing out on a particular interview, do not feel bad. If you are cracking it, like the objective is to hit the first ball out of the park. Like the first, like how Bhupesh says it. Like first interview, crack it, go get the job done. It's done. So you will get the job done. That's a great feeling. But if not, it's fine. You look at the interview. Okay, what did I miss? Interviews are a good form of practice. Sometimes not getting the first job is a blessing, so that by the time you give your third, fourth interview, you realize, okay, you start realizing what are your expectations. You start understanding that what you are good at. And then once you start looking at yourself that, okay, like you start looking at yourself as you're that person. You are that person who can, okay, no, I deserve this. Like the mindset starts shifting. Preparation. The good thing about preparation is like when you're giving these interviews, the big, like initially for your first interview, you're like, oh, I hope I get this job. I hope I get this job. By the time you start giving a number of interviews, you're like, okay, theek hai. So I have given this interview. I know I've cracked the second round. I'm waiting for my final round. Simultaneously, some other interviews come. So your mindset shifts. Like, trust me, when you're coming from a place of abundance, when you have, like, say, when you've given two interviews and you're giving a third interview, your you tend to become arrogant, and this is good arrogance. Like this arrogance reflects, like, okay, like you are the person, you are that guy or that girl who will get this job. Like, and this psyche, this mentality helps. And all you have to do is reject the negativity. Like, trust me, like, there'll be, I was nervous, I was the negative one. Like, I'm not saying negative one, but then sometimes you could see it on my face. I'm like, and it spreads, like emotions spread. We're human, we're like roommates, especially those of y'all who are roommates. So, like I was getting initially shortlisted, my roommates weren't getting shortlisted. So there was tension in the room. So then slowly a week later that changed. My roommates also started getting shortlisted. And you were like, guys, have faith, have faith. Opportunities will come. Opportunities came, and then we all cracked it. So this was about mindset, how to make sure you stand out in the interview, the do's and don'ts, basically. These do's and don'ts, honestly, uh, if you all do internet research, like I was still surprised, like certain students used to not Google it. I have Googled everything, like literally everything. How do I sit in an interview? Where do I keep my hands in an interview? What to say in an interview? Should I even greet the interviewer? Is small talk necessary? I have Googled like very silly stuff. You might laugh if you see my search history. Okay. During the interview, like every silly thing I've Googled. And then based on what I've Googled, I have integrated that with the type of person I am. And I have then presented myself. And Google is a very underrated tool, and I realize that a lot of students do not use it. I would recommend it. Just Google how to do what. Okay, do not post yourself in bad light. One thing I've realized is that now communication to me is something I've worked on over the past 5 6 years, and I'm able to present myself right now. One genuine problem I've seen with a lot of students is like general communication का issue है. How do I present myself? बात कैसे करें? Like now I understand I'm able to communicate what is there in my mind and present my ideas clearly. And I also understand not everyone is capable of doing that. So this is where that self-assessment part comes. I'm like, do not lose faith. Do not compare yourself with someone who's doing it. Instead, learn. Learn where you are. Learn what you could do at your level. And see, communication is not how you speak in English. Communication is how well you are able to convey your idea. तुम अपना आइडिया कितने अच्छे से सामने वाले को समझा सकते हो. Trust me, my interview with Shadi.com was with an alumni. That interview was a 2 hour interview. That interview went for 3 hours. I made that guy my friend. I started speaking to him Hindi, and I will come to that. That's the final section of the interview where I will be sharing my experiences. But like I said, do not worry if your comm skills are not that great. English is not a requirement. English is not a big requirement. But like so says, uh, communication will help you. Like, if you're getting a package of 8 9 LPA, like communication. When I'm saying communication, I don't mean like your fluency in English. I'm referring to how well you are able to communicate your ideas. Like whatever little idea, whatever concept you have in your mind, how well you are able to explain it to the interviewer. This would be the difference between a 8 to 9 LPA to a 14 15 LPA package, and that is we all have to work on. So when it comes to communication, when it all, like how Taranjit ma'am says, write down your intros. Write your intros. I rewrote my intro three, 4 times. Like I have fumbled, stuttered in front of Taranjit ma'am. Like I remember, and ma'am used to be, let it go out again, prepare and come. And literally, you might say it was by hearted. Like you by heart that, but then once you start speak, once you're in front of the interview, like it becomes second nature. And it was only practice. I have looked in the mirror and said it out loud. You know, look at even record yourself, see how you're sounding. So basically, the key over there is speak less, but speak enough. And when you're speaking, make sure that what you are speaking lays down what you want to speak on ahead. Okay, now I'll break this down. Example, your strengths. For example, I'll explain my project. My project consisted mostly of Python and Power BI and statistics. So, and I had created a presentation. So I knew I had done my capstone well, like really well. Like ask me anything, ask me any concept related to my capstone, and I knew it. And this is the least expectation I have from all of you guys. Even the faculty, like know your capstone project thoroughly, like thoroughly. There shouldn't be anything that you don't know about the capstone project. Okay, and this and I knew one thing, that what irrespective of what the interview asked me, मेरे को मेरा capstone वहां पर चिपका के आना है. My introduction used to last for 15 minutes. I used to start like, yes, my name is Lendl. I'm from Europe. This is my education, my qualification. This is where I work. What led me to Aegis, why I'm interested in data science. And here I am, sir, in front of you presenting. Okay. And I used to stop and I used to be like, sir, on my capstone project, like I used to end up my capstone project, sir, I work on my capstone project. I used to be like, sir, would you be interested if I show you a small presentation? Or I used to end with that. I used to read it to them. And when the presentation started, I knew that this is my time. Ab main udega. And the next 10 minutes, I used to explain my presentation. And the presentation, I had a PPT. And people like to see presentations, and especially the PPT is well made. And we had like brilliant Power BI dashboards, like really nice ones. So we had those images, and trust me, my SBI Mutual Fund interview, I cleared solely on the presentation. I got that offer only because of the presentation. I have got offers for things I can't believe. I didn't expect I'd get jobs because, and I've got, and it all came down to those little things. Like I'm not kidding you all. For SBI, I got the job for the presentation I made, and me explaining the presentation. The interviewer realized that, okay, this guy knows his stuff. This guy knows his stuff. He's even got a presentation to back it up, and he's even explained to me what he's done in the presentation. And the quality of the presentation was so good. He's like, "Acha, theek hai." And I need a guy who would create reports and analyze and create reports. So you seem like a fit, but are you ready for an internship? I told him, sir, I was told that this should be a full-time opportunity. He said he would get back. For 20 days, I didn't hear from him. I was like, gone. This SBI also is gone. 20 days later, I get a call from the HR. And they're like, Lendl, you've been selected. And then can we discuss the package and stuff? And I was like, when I look back right now, like, see, technical skills aren't everything. The technical skills are a must. This will help you during the job. But to get you to that job, your presentability is a must. And trust me, I have gotten things because I focused more on the little things. I focused more on presentation because how I'm presenting myself. Because I may know a lot of stuff, or I may know very little stuff. What I did was I knew, like, say 30% of data science, but when I presented it, I presented that 30% so well that they're like, "Acha, theek hai." He may not know, like, even the interviewers, like most of my interviewers, like I had a 60 to 40, 60-40 ratio, like a 60% right answers, 40% incorrect answers. But even in giving those 60% right answers, I made sure that I went in depth of explaining those 60%. So I have seen, like, we used to conduct mock interviews, and I have seen like classmates of mine who used to be like, they should be answered to the point. Chris, Hasa, what is this? It is this. What is linear regression? Linear regression this. Nahi. First start, break it down, expand it as much as you can. See what observe the interviewer. Like, is he willing to listen? Like, there are two. Okay, and I'll come to the, before going to this, I'll just tell you what the expectation of the interviewer. So when you sit for interviews, companies will hire you for two criteria. They'll see if you're a technical fit. Some companies only want tech guys. Like, okay, they know what kind of work they have, they know the kind of work they're going to give you, and they know, Acha, is this guy going to get my job done? Okay. And some companies will see if you're a cultural fit. There's a tech fit and there's a culture fit. And this advice was told to me by my alumni when I was sitting for a session like you guys. And this I'll be sharing with you all because it helped me. So understand what type of company it is. And this you will understand, and it won't be written on their head. You have to go prepared for both. You have to be either a tech fit or a cultural fit. The best is both. The best is if you are fit for a both. Now, tech fit is what? Just prepare your basics well, clear the aptitude test. See, the more number of rounds a company has, the more technical tests they have, you can understand. So this company is looking for a tech fit guy. A cultural fit is like where the interviewer will assess you. They will see the kind of person you are, and by the kind of person you are, they will look at how you are presenting, what you have to present, what ideas you have, how are you going about the work you've done, and the knowledge they will test. मतलब ऐसा ठीक है, भले ही इसको कुछ चीजें नहीं आती है, but they will look at other aspects. How are you presenting yourself? Your communication. You know something? Like, even a simple, like, before starting the interview, like, "Hi sir, how are you? How was your day?" I used to use this trick. Trust me, I'm not even kidding you. I used to go, "Sir." Every interview, "Hi sir." I've seen students, "Hi sir, I'm ready for my questions." "Oh, I'm nervous." No, I should be like, "Hi sir, how was your day?" And in my interviews were scheduled in the evening. So I knew that, okay, they're working throughout the entire day. They've come in the evening. I could see, my SBI interview, sir was giving it from his office, and there were a lot of people. So I'm making conversation. The interviewer is human, and humans connect. It's not a machine. Like, okay, they will ask you a fixed set of questions, you have a fixed set of answers. No, it's an interview. It's the interviewer. It's, you connect with them, bond. And like I said, my strength was I look to connect with people. So my thing is, "Okay, I should, like, Asa, can I connect with this person?" I'm like, if I know, if I'm able to connect, no, then I can ask him. If I don't know something, that even if I say I don't know, na, he'll be like, "Acha, theek hai." I will say, "What else do you know about?" See, all you have to do in the basic objective of the interview is not to answer his questions. The basic objective of an interview from your perspective is to show the interviewer that you are the right guy for this job. And showing that is like, just, I believe, like, in my the Python Viva and for my SBI mutual fund, which was there, I answered, like, there were easy questions. I answered them, and I was still stuttering. But I ended my interview like, "So, see, I have answered my questions. Some questions I were doubtful. But if so, he asked me this final question: on a scale of 1 to 10, Lendl, how much would you rate yourself on Python?" And I was like, "Sir, I would rate myself a 6.57." So he's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Sir, see, I realized there are things I know, and I realize there are a lot of things I don't know. But one thing I can guarantee you, like, if given a particular task, I will get the job done. If it requires me to go to Google, ask someone for help, I will make sure that I will be that guy who will get your job done." And it is statements like this, like these, this shows the interviewer that, okay, this guy has faith in himself. This guy has belief in himself. And all I could do this because I was able to connect with him first. Like a simple question, like, "So how was your day? Yeah, it looked like you had a busy day." But I could see the timing of your interview. Most of my interviews are scheduled in the evening, or see in the background varies. And then, even they start, "Arey, yeah, it's been a tiring day. I've had a tiring day." So I'm like, "Acha, okay." So I'm like, "Okay, so if you had a tiring day, I hope I will do my best, and I hope I make this worth your time." You can lit copy these lines. I'm not kidding you all. And they're like, "Okay, acha, theek hai. This guy." has a sense of. So the interview also has a soft corner for her. So I was see my strength was realized like I do like I said I'm a non-tech guy. I used to think I'm a non-tech guy, but I was a tech guy, but I just didn't want to put in the effort. Once I put in the effort, I got the tech as well. So now you I look to becoming a lethal combo of a tech and a culture fit guy. So but I play to my strengths. Understand, play to your strengths. This Identifying your strengths will only tell you all how you all can go about the interview. You'll all have different personalities. Make sure that personality comes across in that interview. Make sure you bring out that thing in yourself. Be proactive. Do not just if the interviewer won't ask you questions, then you want to speak. If the interviewer is not speaking, then you may initiate the conversation. Read the room. By reading the room, and make see what the interview is like. Is the interviewer replaced? Acha, theek hai. What is this? What is this? Okay. When you answer, the interviewer is not responding. So you give your answer. I'm like, sir, this is my answer. How much you know, you stop. Sometimes when you're answering, also if you answer too much, it's an issue. Keep it precise. दो line में answer खत्म करो. I remember my mock interviewers. The feedback I got was Lendl speak less. Lendl speak less, and I should speak a lot. But anyway, that was it. So as far as interviews go, so this is it. As in, it's about presenting yourself. The mindset given you, assessment. Assessment would lead you all to understand your strengths. Working on your strengths and improving on your weaknesses would give you all the right mindset. And in difficult times, okay, which come, there are highs and lows. The lows are necessary so that you appreciate the highs. So in when the tough phase of the campus placement comes, so it will prepare you. This mindset will prepare you. Like stay strong, have faith in your abilities, and because you know your stuff, you guys know your stuff. The faculty has worked hard, you guys have worked hard. This effort will bear fruit, but there should not like if the effort is lacking, then you should focus on okay, theek hai. I'm not getting results, so where to improve? I'm lacking somewhere. Things have to change. I'm not getting shortlisted. My resume has to change. Something has to change. Okay, I'm clearing. I'm going to interviews. I'm not clearing rounds. Okay, something has to change. My approach has to change. I've given a couple of interviews, but I'm not. I'm going to the second round, but I'm not getting selected. Why? Maybe my attitude. It comes down to that. Maybe my attitude. Break down the interview. What did you say? What did you not say? It's more on how did you behave in that interview. So this was coming to the like I said, assess, identify strengths, build the mindset. The mindset will help you last throughout this war which is going to come. And this war is a winnable one. Why? Because you know your weapons. You have your weapons. And you know your enemy. In this case, knowing your enemy is knowing the interviewer, where you research your company and you know yourself. You know yourself, you know how capable you are, you're sure, "Acha, theek hai, this battle I'm going to win." And now comes that was it. The mindset I've given you all how to stand out on the interview. Standing out of the interview is not you don't have to be special. You have to be stand out in your own unique way because you all of y'all have strengths. All of y'all have your own strengths. You guys know it. And these strengths doesn't have to be anything fancy. छोटा छोटा चीज भी चल जाता है. Just on that small thing you work on. Basically, you have to ensure that your personality comes across in the interview. And I'm saying personality is like make an effort to talk. Sometimes you have to present yourself. Like imagine those telemarketer ads you see on TV. Like ये product ले लो अच्छा दिख रहा है product. You are that product right now. Think like a salesman. Okay, my advantage was like I was a salesman. I sold machines, so I understand. Okay, ठीक है. Now I'm presenting myself. So think like okay, how best because you have to make sure that that company picks you. So you, okay. Also, one more. I'd like to end the interview phase like with then we switch on to my experiences and if I'll have any questions. So also understand like when the process begins, if you're a batch of say 10, 12, uh, like whoever stands out first or who is able to leave this impression, like the process is described to you all, will get picked first. So do not get demotivated that you're not getting picked, others are getting picked. So in fact, be happy. Celebrate each other's victories. Trust me, this helps. I was in my batch, I was the seventh guy to get placed, and it took some time. After a month and a half of campus placements, I got placed. And so one thing we really observed, like we all said, even the first guy which got placed, we really celebrated that because for the first 1.5 week, none of us got placed. Even the college was shocked, like, what is this? Like, this batch is good. This is a good batch. Like, we knew. Like, yeah, we are a good batch. Our projects are there. But the results are not reflecting that. But when the first placement took, it was like a domino effect. That positivity came. I'm like, yes, there are companies, like, there are companies who are coming at our level, and then we realize that we have learned the skill the market needs, and that celebration, of your amped for your colleague, they was like, "ठीक है, my place हो गया, bro, this will come." My roommates got placed before me, I got placed. I'm like, "ठीक है." My final roommate was there, Siddhant was left, and eventually Siddhant got, we celebrated. Same thing with my project members as well. So, like, you have to celebrate each other's successes. You have to be there when things are going tough, but do not let the negativity creep in. I've given you all the mindset and what to be wary of. Coming to the interviews, like my personal experiences, I say like the three companies. I had given 5 interviews. I remember interviews. I say not aptitude test. Like I had given for Analog Group, Asian Paints, Asian SBI Mutual Fund, Morningstar, and Shazi.com. So Analog Group, I was there in the final two, but I got rejected. Asian Paints, I did not clear the final round. For my Shadi.com, Morningstar, and SBI Mutual Funds, my SBI Mutual Funds was my earliest interview. Like I had said, the interview was clear. I even told you all what I said in the interview. There were a couple of rounds. It was just basic Python. I clearly pulled that interview on my introduction, my presentation of my capstone, which I made sure that I would speak. I did not wait for the interview to ask. Your layout of the interview. Like I had a fixed formula for my interviews. Like I know what I want to speak about. You have to lead the conversation from my introduction to the transition to the capstone, and from my capstone, I'm like, sir, this is my capstone. Ask me anything you want. And at the end of my capstone, I should give that look. Are you impressed yet? Like I should not say it, but then I knew that if, like, even you guys can do it. Just prepare your capstone well. Prepare your capstone well. And you're like, acha, theek hai. And if your capstone has, and build dashboards. Trust me, build dashboards. People love it. Everybody loves it in the market. I'm not even kidding you. Even right now in my current company also, I was hired for Python automation, for my Python skills. Surprising, my weakest subject being Python, I was hired for Python. Okay, now the company requires me to work on Tableau, because there are still, I need to first learn the finance domain before getting Python projects. I'm like, I can't sit idle just learning finance, so I picked up on Tableau. So there is a big requirement. So in your capstone project, build Tableau, create brilliant presentations, and make sure you are able to tell the story during your presentation. For my Shadi.com, like I said, I was fortunate enough to have an alumni take an interview. So in my Shadi.com, it was a tech. Like, see, no, Shadi is a tech company, not a culture fit company. So I balanced tech with culture fit. So this was one interview where I was asking questions to the interviewer. So there was simple questions like concept of overfitting, underfitting. Like, yeah, I've explained overfitting, underfitting. Yeah. So now the alumni, he knew in depth. He's like, no, Lendl, see, what you are saying is right. How you are defining the concept is correct. But the meaning, the actual meaning behind it, like if you have to plot a graph and see how it happens and how the data points move, you're not explaining it correctly. So now what I would have done, what I should have done, I'm like, okay, now if the interviewer is telling me, Lendl, see, you've given the answer, definition is correct. The concept which you're giving is the deeper concept which I want. And trust me, they dig deep. The deeper concept which I want is, I feel you're not getting it. Now, in this situation, any other person would, what they would have done is like, "Acha, theek hai, I don't know this. Yeah, sir, I don't know this." I don't know what got into me that time. I started asking these questions. I'm like, okay, sir, just have a question. Like, I went out of my comfort zone. I just wanted to see, let's see what happens. And I asked him this. So yes, see, so like, see, so I know this concept. It's a very easy concept. I've been studying it. We've always been using overfitting, underfitting. It matters. But now you're giving me new information. And just out, this is what I said, just out of curiosity, sir, like this, like, cause this would help me in my future. I don't know about this interview, but just I want to improve my learning. I want to improve my learning. Could you tell me? Could you explain that concept to me? Just imagine in an interview, I'm asking the interviewer to explain that stuff to me, and he liked it. And we went on a full blown conversation on it, and he explained to me, "Acha, theek hai, overfitting." And I was like, "Bas, ho gaya, mil gaya." I have corrected with him. Now I can drive the interview how I want to. As in, basically, how I want to, I'll let him ask the question. If I know it, I will answer it. If I don't know it, what will I do? I will ask him, "Acha, sir, just like, what would be the right answer? How would it be?" Because why do I want to do this? Because I want to learn. Now, in doing so, what came across as an interviewer, what he is saying, he is seeing my ability. Okay, that this guy answered what he knew. He is able to ask for help. One thing in my years of experience I've realized is that people are hesitant to ask. I don't know why, because like they feel that अच्छा नहीं पूछेगा तो मैं छोटा हो जाएगा क्या? Will the world look down on me? No, ask for help. Big people say, no, you only receive things when you ask. So I asked him. So he's like, अच्छा ठीक है, he knows how to ask. And third thing, most importantly, this guy, this is why Shadi decided to hire me. They're like, this guy has the willingness to learn. Because I told him, sir, I don't know this answer. I want to learn. This opportunity I want to know. And when he was explaining to me the concept, like I was doing exactly what I should do with Amir sir. Amir sir used to explain the concept. I used to pay attention. Acha, theek hai. This is what Amir sir is explaining. This is what I have understood. Now I am going to ask a question to see if I've understood correct, or at least give back what I have understood. And I did the same thing with this guy. I'm like, okay, so you're saying this. This is your logic. This is what I have learned. So is this how it goes? And this conversation, I felt like I was discussing like with a colleague of mine. I said, "ठीक है, हम discuss कर रहे हैं. I'm learning from it." Didn't feel like an interview. That 2 hour interview went for 3 hours. In the third hour, he asked me, "अच्छा ठीक है, if you were in Shadi, how would you improve Shadi? How would you improve the user interface of Shadi?" So now I have not used Shadi.com as an application, okay, but I know how it works because I used Bumble and Tinder. Okay, so I'm still as a data scientist look at it. So I know it's ठीक है, you're right swiping the data. As in, they're like, I asked what problems Shadi is facing. So like we're facing problems of fake profiles, authentication issues. I'm like, how are you all facing problems? Bumble is using the verification. Why can't you all verify? They're like, so there were a lot of things. And then we went, and I was able to give so many solutions because I'm like, giving solutions is easy. He's not asking me to code. He's asking me to think conceptually. Give me an idea on how would you solve this problem. The coding part we can get done later. That is later. So I was like, yeah. If you're asking me how to think, I can think. And I was just there. I was just telling myself, yeah. You want this idea, you want this idea, you want. All I was doing was showing to the interviewer that this guy can think. That I can think and I can. If I have an idea, I have an idea. If I don't know the concept, I was like, can we make this? Is this possible? Will this work? He's like, yeah, we have to see. He's like, okay, sort. By the end of the interview, he asked me, London, do you want to become a data analyst or do you want to become a data scientist? So I'm like, see, sir, data scientist sounds very tempting, but what do you recommend? What do you think? And I was very modest. I was like, sir, you have the guy's name was Anirudh. He's an alumni, 3, 4 years senior. So he was like, I was like, so see, you are a better judge. You have assessed me the past couple of hours, so you know best. So he's like, okay. So he's like, see, I leave both options to you. You decide, data analyst or data scientist. So then he told me data scientist would require more of hard coding, like you'd require the skills of a full stack developer. So then I told him, so see, my skill level is not that much. So is there an opportunity where I could start as an analyst and then switch to a data scientist? And it worked. And I was like, fine. But when I look back, my Shadi.com interview, I only cleared because I showed him that I had the ability to learn. In an interviewer, I did not worry that, oh, shit, I don't know this answer. I was like, how do I change it? How do I make this negative situation into a good one? Okay, I just show him. All you have to do is show the interviewer that you have the willingness to learn. All the You have to show this desire from you. More than see, everybody wants a tech job, but people want people see what an interview. I was an interviewer and I come tomorrow and interview you guys. I would want to hire people who want to work for me. Are you getting my point? And all you have to do is show the interview that you want to work for them. And by showing them, it's not telling them, sir, I want to work for you, I want to work for you. No, show them the interest, showcase your strengths, show what you're good at, tell them what you know. And when you don't know, and when you don't know something in an interview, that's when you come in and like, see, I know this I have scope to improve. I realize that like learning never stops and I have to continuously improve. Use these words, use the same template. So I understand, like I was able to answer this particular question. This I'm missing out on. I understand learning is a continuous process. I have to continuously improve. Like see who the person is. If it's an alumni, definitely ask him like what would be the right answer just out of curiosity. Just say these lines and he'll be like, Asa, theek hai. And he will help you. Alumni do have a soft corner also. This was my Shadi experience. My SBI experience, I said, it was quick. It was like 2 interviews, and in the presentation got me presentation, the PPT, and my final interview was like, sir, you give me any task, I will get the job done. And see, all of this is the culture aspect. The tech aspect was also tested. That is the minimum, like the basic, like the big 4 subjects. They had tested those as well. Those I had cleared. I'm not stating them because those are basic questions which you guys also would get. like I guess sir would share a question sheet with you all of the questions previously asked. It was all from there only. Like all those questions only were asked. It's just that you have to answer it well. It's just the little extra stuff which you could do is what helps you stand out. And my Morningstar interview was, it started off with a Python test. Like I was given a question set, I had to solve the questions, and it was fully finance based, like calculate. So I solved only half the paper in that 1 hour, and the logic. So basically, the first question was so easy. Was like create a variable. I was in shock. I'm like, really? I will ask me to create a variable like for interest, balance, and principal. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. And like it's like in the exam you go and they ask you what is 2 plus 2, and like 2 plus 2 is 4, but then you still could go to a calculator and type 2 plus 2 just to be double sure of. So I started the variables, and one question they asked me was like, create all these things. Find the like once you calculate the interest for each year in a 10-year period. So now I didn't know, like, I've done that common, but it's basic, it's expected. So I didn't know the logic to calculate the interest for each year. So I asked my mom, like, my mom's an accountant. So I'm like, Ma, how do you calculate the interest for each year? So my mom did the calculations. She like, "Okay, okay, I knew the balance remained constant, and each year only the interest amount was getting added to it. So I'm like, "Acha, theek hai." Then I looked at it, oh, I got the logic, keep that constant, create a loop, and then just keep appending it, and then add the values. And then the values, put it in the list. I was like, sort. And then they liked it. I was able to build logic because of the things I had practiced. And they liked that thing. And the next question was that what interests I've done, create a dictionary from the year 1 to 10. And so you can use the zip function and do that. So I got that. And in the interview itself told me that I like your logic. I like how the approach you took. And possibly it was because of that I got selected the next round. My final interview also, like I said, now this was my third interview. Like I said, I giving 2 interviews. One interview is enough for you to understand your template. So I knew my template. Give your intro, lead the introduction, make the introduction end with your capstone, kill it in the capstone. Like you should own the capstone. Then they will be forced to ask questions on your capstone, answer everything in the capstone. Then oh, here they know. Okay, this guy has prepared and come, and this guy knows what he's prepared. End of story. Now comes the second part of the interview where they will test you based on the questions they have asked you to see what you know. In that question, honestly, even right now in the company I'm working at, they told me, Lendl, see, you were 55% right, 45% wrong. I'm like, okay, really? I'm like, yeah. Then came the domain. They asked me finance. So I work in structured finance now. I don't come for finance domain, but I work in structured finance. I'm learning in I'm in RMBS, residential mortgage backed securities. So they had asked me questions about this. So whatever little I read, I threw it over there, and I threw wrong, and I was beating around the bush. Then the interview is like, Lenton, stop. You do not have to beat around the bush. Zada ghuma mat. He literally said, Zada ghuma mat. If you don't know, say you don't know. So I'm like, so see, I didn't want to be wrong, so I was just making an honest attempt to give you the right answer. So so it's like, see, Lenton, the judgment happens on other criteria as well. If you don't know this, you're being judged on other criteria as well. That's where I like to reiterate. You are being judged all round, other criteria as well. Tech skills, yeah, it's a must, but don't focus only on tech skills. These little things outside, like your presentations, how you are, who you are. I used to go in a suit and tie, like everything was precise. I never missed out on a single opportunity, I'm not letting go of anything. Everything was covered, everything was taken care of. Like मौका नहीं दिया सामने वाले को बोलने का, अच्छा ठीक है ये यहाँ लैग कर रहा है, नहीं. Whatever was in my control, I focused on it. Like basically, if I have to sum this up, focus on things which are in your control, what are not in your control, let it be, and just learn from that experience and see how you could tackle it. So guys, this was my entire experience as a whole. This is what I feel. Like, if I have to summarize it, assess your strengths, work on your strengths and weaknesses, improve this assessing of your strengths will build confidence, help you have that mindset. The tips and the tricks I've of in an interview, like the tech fit and the cultural fit, what the company is looking for, what you how you should present yourself, understand that you are the product over here, how you will stand out, and if faced with difficulties in an interview, how to maneuver it. Keeping a template of your presentation in an interview. You should know how your conversation should go like. The words won't be the same, but you should know, अच्छा हाँ, scenario ये है. अब मुझे introduction के बारे में बात करना है, अब मुझे caption के बारे में बात करना है. So you should know what you want to talk about, when you want to talk about. If the person is, you should know how to drive the conversation. If you're stuck, if you don't know something, then you should talk about how you're going to answer it. So these are the things which I have, which I've learned, which I've implemented. I've shared with my classmates as well, which I believe have helped them as well. So this was it, guys. If you all have any questions, anything, please feel free to come up with them.
Hi, Lendl. Vrati
Hi,
here.
Ritik.
So I just wanted to ask you, how do you improve, like when they ask you real life question scenario? So how do you
Okay.
improve that thinking? You said like you were just talking, and whenever they ask you some sort of questions, so like how do you improve that part?
Okay. So see, in my mock interview, like I was asked this question on, say, for example, see, when they give you real life, understand every question in an interview has a particular objective. So here, now, like when I say, see, students look at questions very differently. Students are more focused on giving the right answer. See, in an interview, there is no right answer. Like figuratively speaking, in an interview, there is no right answer. As in, like, yeah, for a tech question, there is a right answer where they test your tech skills. But see, questions like these, like you said, a situational question, they're not looking for the right answer. They're looking for your approach. They're looking at how are you able, if you are put in that situation, how will you tackle that? For example, I was asked, like in a canteen, like say, in a college, there's a canteen and there's an item which is being sold for 10 rupees. She's like, how much money is the canteen making? She's asking. Now I realized, okay, now in a day, how much money is the canteen making? So I said, okay. First, I told her, now what? First, you have to calculate, check the variables. What are the variables? The number of students, how many students are there, how many departments. I gave her my example. I took it on myself. Okay, I told her I come from an engineering college. So I basically built a story. I come from an engineering college. My engineering college are different engineering, so different streams, different years have different divisions. One division has say 50 students, so 1 year has say four divisions. That's 50 into 4, that's 200. Or there are 4 years, that's 200 into another 4 years, that's 800 students. 800 students in say mechanical engineering. So then there are different streams. So that's 800 into say a number of streams. That's the number of students. So then they can say, "Acha, theek hai." Now in this little thing, they figure out, "Acha, theek hai." He knows. This person knows how to structure. Basically, they're trying to see your analytical and logical thinking. They are looking at this. They know how he can build logic. They know that this person from ground zero, can he go to step one? Can he basically, they are looking at how are you identifying steps. If say if I give you a particular problem, now coming to, if I give you a particular problem and I know that you do not have the solution to the problem, honestly, I am not expecting a solution also from the problem. All I want to see is how are you going to think when I give you that particular problem? What is it that comes to your mind when faced with that particular problem? Now, these are known as guesstimates. Like my friend was asked, like my friend from Kerala, one from West Bengal, so like, हाँ, West Bengal का ये मिठाई बहुत अच्छा है, तो कितना consumption होता रहेगा मिठाई का? Now he's like, now how to answer that question? So there is no right answer. All there is the right approach. So now what is the question? What the question is, how many people consume? Now that is the final answer. Now, from where do you start? They want to see how are you starting from? What base? Now, every building you build needs a foundation. So they want to see your foundation. How are you starting off? Like, so like in my case, my foundation was like, the question was how much money is the canteen making? So my first thing was, money is made from consumers. Consumers who are in the canteen, they are the students. So what is important? The number of students are important. So first, set the premise. Where are my students? They are in a college. Which college? Engineering college. What is there in an engineering college? Students. But which there are types of students. So now, if you calculate the students, it's a class, division, stream, number of divisions, 4 years, number of classes, all of this. Then you go ahead. Then you don't give a number, you just give scenarios. Okay, now if you really want the number, then you can go to check the. Then I even told her, okay, if there are say like 800 students in one section, but not all 800 would be present. Some I used to bunk, so I know students used to bunk. So then you cut that number down to half. You give them scenarios. All they want to see is how you are thinking. What all ideas? How you are able to branch out? What all possibilities are coming to your head? They want to see that. There is no right answer. So I hope I have answered your question. Like I hope you've got the gist on how to answer these questions.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Lendl. I got it.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Because I'm really looking forward to some more
Hi,
questions from
Lendl.
you. Hey, Vipul. Good to see
Hi.
you, man.
Okay. Good to see you. Long time, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay. You've answered a couple of questions already, which I have already jotted out, but some of them I'd like to ask you again. So basically, about the introduction, what are the basic key points that we should be covering, and how long the introduction should last?
Okay. See, honestly, see, I'll talk about the length. So now at Morningstar, I'm fortunate enough to be working with the people who took my interview. So my reporting manager, the person who took my interview, is my team lead, and the quant analyst who took my tech test, he's there in my team itself. That was one thing. So I asked them, asked them for feedback. Tell me about my interview. I want to know. So he told me one thing. तेरा interview ना लेंगे 20 minute का था पता है क्या? So I'm like, really? He's like, yes, 20 minutes you took for your interview. Your introduction. And when he meant by my introduction, he included my intro, that is the short 4 minutes. You can take it up to 5 minutes, as well as the capstone. See, our strength at Aegis is our capstone, your project. What you have worked on, you should know very well. Over here, in your capstone, just imagine interview is set for 1 hour. Look at the scenario. Like, look at the war, the battle. This battle is a 1 hour battle. In this 1 hour battle, the objective is what? The objective is to make sure that you are the right candidate. And when will this opportunity come? They will only understand this opportunity when you are presenting yourself. When they can see that, अच्छा ठीक है, ये बंदा बात कर रहा है, he knows what he's talking about. He has knowledge. And now break that down also. And how can you talk about what knowledge you have in your capstone? So now you don't wait for them to bring your capstone. You start off with an introduction. You start off with, good evening, sir. How are you? Ask them, how are you? How was your day? Break down. Don't just rush into the interview. Start. Look at the camera. Smile. Smiling is essential. Practice smiling. See, you all have got brilliant, beautiful smiles. Not even kidding. I've seen all of them. So yeah, this perfect, perfect. This smile is all is required. Look at them. Hello, sir. How are you doing? How was your day? Breathe. Cool. Then they look at you. They're like, "अच्छा, ठीक है." So Landon, yes. So tell me about this. So you start. Yes, sir. So as you already know, my name is Lentil Antao. I've done my engineering. You state your qualification. You keep your script which you've prepared. You state what your qualification, what you've done, your experiences. If you have work experience, good. Speak about it. Also, just if you don't have work experience, still fine. Then you can come to why you came to data science. See, the important thing about the introduction is the transition from one thing to one thing. Now, just look at this aspect. Hi, sir. My name is Landon. I've done my engineering. I'm a mechanical engineer. I came to Aegis. I'm doing data science. I'm good at Python, SQL. It sounds monotonous. There is no link between them. Your introduction should be like a story. Where he's like, "Acha, theek hai." Basically, your introduction is a hint for the interview on why I should hire this guy. So my strength, like I said, was I can build a story. I'm like Taranjeet Namshi say, you're a good storyteller. So I should focus on it. People, so let's say, okay, story बोलना है ना. So I'm Lenny. I'm from, if depending, I see where I'm from, my hometown. I've done my education. I've done my bachelor's in engineering. In my final year of engineering, Link. In my final year of engineering, I had my startup. It was based on groceries. It didn't work out. So I thought, what's the next logical step? I thought of doing sales. Now, understanding what's the next logical step? Final year of engineering. These are the link up words. You can use them. Same thing. The next logical step in my life was, acha, theek hai. I have, like in your case, you have work. I have work experience. I learned what I had to learn. Then I decided, acha, I need to upskill myself. So then I decided, I did my research and came to Aegis. When I came to know Aegis, I got really curious about data science. I'm like, yeah, this field is more suitable to my liking because I believe I am an analytical, logical guy. That's why this is more suitable for me. Same words. These are power words, basically link up words. So your introduction doesn't sound monotonous. You can link them up correctly and then build up on it. So he knows, acha, theek hai. So even the interviewer is listening to yours. Because just imagine from his perspective, they interview literally 50 to 100 students. Now you're coming to me and then now you have a flow. Acha, theek hai. He knows this Vipul knows who he is. Vipul knows what he has done. Vipul knows why he is doing it. And now Vipul is here to present to me his achievements in the field of data science. So now when you're ending, so you come. Education, what your education led you to work, then your next logical step, what you've learned there, which skills you acquired, the next logical step, because you have to upskill yourself. Then you came to Aegis, got curious, at Aegis, you worked on a number of projects, and your most significant project was a capstone. So, with your permission, I would like to tell you more about it. Use this. So, with your permission, I'd like to tell you more about it. So, should I go ahead? She won't say no. Trust me. I've not had one person say no to me. I said it everywhere. Yahi chipkaya hai. Find the right template, find the right formula, copy it from somewhere. Trust me, I'm doing that. You listen to everybody, you keep what you like, you reject what you do not like, and then you move on with that. You're integrated with your own. Do not just directly copy it. Integrate with the personality, your own personality, and take it ahead. And then in your presentation, make sure you have a nice presentation. So can I share my screen? And yes, see, there is this psychology. Like it's a bit psychological. But in sales, I realized when people agree to you on small things, they tend to agree with you on bigger things also. So I show you this. So can I, like I said, so with your permission, can I give you this presentation? So he's like, yes. Number one. So if you don't mind, can I share my PPT? Second, yes. So you're understanding, I am reassuring, I'm like subconsciously making him say yes to me. I know this is very like I learned this during sales, okay? So in my during negotiations. So I'm just it's a tip which helped me. I hope it helps you guys as well. So you can use this. And then trust me, your introduction, my only my introduction was good. Then he's like, Lender, then you when you came to the tech questions now, you were half 50-50. There it is 50-50. See, like sir, I said, I'm a public speaker. While hosting, my entire focus is on my start. You start well, bus. The rest, na, kaisa bhi, people remember the start and people remember the end. The middle, they do not focus that much. So your first impression has to be created in your introduction and your capstone project. And I feel that, and I'm sure you guys, I hope this answer helps you all. I hope you've got the important key thing is the link up. So you build a story and then your capstone and where you make the most of a capstone. And then like, so if you have any questions, I'm ready.
Okay, you already have answered my how to drive the interview towards what topics you are strong in. So that obviously checks in. One more question I have is, of course, everyone asked what are the weakness and strengths. So I have come across a lot of things like how to tackle them, but I would like to know how you would refer to it.
Okay, so see now this and the answer to this question when I had done my research on Google. So people were like, always never say your actual weaknesses. Always use your weaknesses. Like you state your strengths as weaknesses. So now, but one thing which I realized is that honesty is actually the best policy. So honesty is actually so one thing I realized. So whenever I have to state a weakness, I would state that like see if my strength. So my strengths like I said aside from the strength, your strengths is, you know your strength. Like my strength is I'm observant, I'm logical, I'm analytical, and I'm a good presenter. I understand people. Now this I understand people. I say it even if you're not to say it. Like why I say I don't understand people. All I do is I just go and meet people. Hi, my name is Lentil. What is yours? I just try to bond. So and then I say, "Yeah, this is fine. Uh, my personality, I'm sort of say you could say extroverted. So I say that also. It's a tech round, it's a tech interview, but no, but they look at all this aspect. When it comes to weaknesses, so weaknesses, I'm like how do I say? So this one I could use. I use it somewhere else. I'm like sometimes I take up too many tasks because I have difficulty in saying no. It's not difficulty in saying no, but like if told to do something, I would like to do it. So sometimes I take up taking more responsibility than I can, and I realize this is it's not see, it's a strength only. It's like it shows your good side, but also shows that you're taking up more than you can chew. And then you say that, so I understand this. Say that you've caught this mistake, and then also give a solution. I am working towards prioritizing my tasks, so I know even if I do take up responsibilities, which one should I focus more on first, and then which one should I focus less. So like this is how you, and I would say all of y'all even say this now, it's fine. Copy it, like literally use what works. See, it's a battle, it's a war. You have to use your arsenals, choose your weapons, and then go accordingly, and then go and kill it in the war. So this was one thing. And trust me, I've used it for I've seen other people do it. That's like he can. Okay, so he's doing it. So now I told you in my andaz, you can use your method and use it. So basically, it's like, and see, now in talking like this, just imagine the words which I told right now to you. It sounds genuine because I'm actually trying to tell you, sir, this is the problem now. मैं समझा है problem क्या है, but ऐसे solve करेगा. Like this, the same expressions I have in front of my interviewer. Like it's not so serious. No, it's same. So he's like, अरे ये कौन है? who is this guy? Why is he so friendly with me? I'm like, sir, I'm like that only. So I want this aspect to come out. Don't be stiff in an interview. Because they know you guys are smart, yeah. They're like, that ages ka stamp is there now, na? They're like, अच्छा, ठीक है, ages के बच्चे लोग, our alumni is actually great. बहुत फाड़ के रखा है उन्होंने. Sorry, pardon my language, but they have killed it. But like, be frank as be as casual as possible in the interview. So that interview also feels, अच्छा, ठीक है. There's some new, this guy is chill. It will give a good aura. So as far as weaknesses is, uh, this is one thing. Apart from it is like, do not speak negative about yourself. Like, don't say like, sir, I can't handle stress. I don't work under pressure. No, all that is not required. You disguise a strength only as a weakness. Like, take up more responsibilities, but prioritization. So sometimes time management is good. Like, because I also want to increase my productivity. Because like sometimes I feel that I can get more done in a particular time, but I don't get it done. So this is something I'm continuously working on. So you can see, like, so they see, अच्छा ठीक है, this guy has assessed himself and he's working to improve. Never speak bad about yourself, never in an interview. And if you don't know an answer, just do not say, sir, I don't know this answer, I didn't study it. No. So like at this point of time, I have like my deep learning. So at this point of time, my interest lay in data science and machine learning. Deep learning, though, is an attractive concept. Like, you have to praise it and you have to, blabber it. Chada, okay, so like, though it's an attractive concept, but at the moment, I feel that I didn't want to just do it for the sake of doing it. Like, if I want to do it, I do it well. Say it. If I want to do it, I do it well. Like how I have done it in my capstone. I've done it and I've done it well. So these words, na, like, "Acha, theek hai." So this guy, so he'll remember, this guy's doing it, so he's doing it well. It plays a part, and he's like, okay, so he knows what he's interested in and what he's not interested. So he doesn't want AI, artificial learning. Because if you say deep learning, you prepare deep learning and go, na, so he'll like, "Acha, theek hai. Now answer this. And deep learning is vast. And if the interviewer wants to ask, so then they ask you well. So over there, this helps. Sure. I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, absolutely. That was perfect. Because I just wanted to know what are your views of how to tackle those questions. Just one more small thing again, that is my personally. So basically, I wanted to ask, will the interviewer look into your extra activities, or it will just or he will just look into your technical skills?
Will the interviewer look into your text? I didn't get the first part.
Uh, Extracurricular activities, like
Okay,
if you are doing
okay. So now see, like your resume, like I also had a lot of extracurriculars. Like I said, I'm a public speaker. So that is the summary. I just mentioned I'm a public speaker. Whatever, like, because I had to put it. Ma'am was like, why you have to put it? I'm like, ma'am, no, that is who I am. That is my personality. I'm like, okay, fine. So you need not necessarily mention your extracurriculars, but see, if you have done work in extracurriculars, no, you can bring that up while you're talking. That can be seen while you're presenting yourself. So people, like, basically, to do any extracurricular activity, you have that activity has a reflection on your personality. In when you're interview, now, for example, I'd say mine is very straightforward. Now I have done public speaking before. So now so it comes across like now the fact that I'm also surprised I'm speaking for so long. I thought I would end this in 1 hour, but it's gone for some time. I also outdid myself. So I also know that, okay, theek hai. So you all can also understand that, theek hai, this guy can speak. So similarly, whatever curricular activities, say event management, say organization. So organizing any event, it's a task. So you are able to organize an event. To organize an event, you have to see what you are, what the layout is. It shows your analytical, logical skills. He has people management skills. So you do not talk about him, but you say, how do I say it? Bato mein you can bring it out. Like, yeah, so I learned this like as an like in my I improved I believe I'm analytical and logical because I also remember because I can back during my college I don't know the activities you've done like while organizing this event I had done so and so. So I picked this skill from there. I picked this skill. So when you're talking about skills, so this when the strength and weakness for aspect, so you can say if your extracurricular activities, see more than people are not focused solely on extracurricular activities. They are focused on what you have learned from those activities. So see, the entire objective of the interview, any question, is to show ki what is there good in you. You may have done a lot of things. You don't tell them, sir, I have done this, I have done this, I have done this. No, not interested. He's interested in, अच्छा, you've done this, but what have you learned from this? ये skill क्या है जो मेरे फायदे का है? So the interview is like, अच्छा ठीक है. चला अच्छा ठीक है, he knows this, he knows this, ये करके उसने ये सीखा, ये करके उसने ये सीखा. So at least he has. So this is known as awareness. A lot of people lack awareness, but having awareness is very important. Awareness is basically knowing the things you've done and the impact they've had on you. And if you are able to share this, yes, sir, say I've done, like, bring in the extracurriculars. Don't specifically, sir, this and I had done this and I had organized this. No, what you had learned from this and how that learning is helping you right now in data science. That is. So every question, the motto should be there. This basically.
Okay, Len. Thank you. Actually, I just want to, I don't want to ask any questions, but I just want to highlight some of the points that you have presented. Where you talked about the product and all. Like we are the product of the ages, and now we have to highlight how we are. So that was a big point. I just want to appreciate that basically. And also, you said a line which says rejections are the blessing in disguise. So I just jotted down. So that will definitely boost me a lot now. That's all I just wanted to say.
Awesome, awesome. I'm really glad that actually helps, because trust me, I have faith in you guys. The most important thing is you should have faith in yourself. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So you guys are tough. So you'll have mentally prepared. I feel you all doing better than us, because you all have our help as well as the faculty and the CMC team will always be there for you all. So that's really great. So I'm glad some of my words really help you all.
They always did, Lendl.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, man.
Anyone else? Any other questions? Like, I'm really open for this. Don't feel shy, because see, you ask questions here. Speaking up here in front of 15 people will give you the confidence to speak up in front of an interviewer. Because ask my faculty also. I used to always ask questions. Ask Amir sir, all the teachers, ask them. I would always have questions, even if my questions were really silly. Always ask them. This is the first step to coming out of your comfort zone, because people are like, नहीं मैं 4 लोग के सामने सवाल पूछेगा तो मेरा सवाल छोटा. Because I remember my first day in Aegis and Karate, I was like, no question is a silly question. So now it's the opportunity. If I'll have any questions, like, go for it.
Hi Lendl, Pratik this side.
Hey, Pratik.
Yeah, nice to see you after so long.
Yeah, man.
First of all, congratulations for, it's been like only 2-3 months before you have just passed out, and today you are here to, like, give us the, the learnings of, I would say.
It's
So
a
I
moment
just
of
wanted
pride
to
for me.
ask, yeah, like you said, just tell them about your capstone projects and that all. Like in our case now, we all are doing capstone project that are based on deep learning.
Okay.
Like they have been given by the AGES itself.
Okay.
So yeah, but the problem with deep learning is that it's a black box, right? You can't go on to explain everything. So will it be advisable in our case to, go on to explain, or just we should just give them a brief idea about capstone and then divert them towards our machine learning projects?
Okay. Awesome, awesome. See, first of all, answering your question, for sure, yes, it will be your deep learning project. You could actually kill it. Now I'll tell you how. Like, while answering Vipul's question, I had stated one thing. The objective, understand, like, I hope you all ingrain this in your heads. The objective of your interviewer is to show him how you guys are beneficial for the interview,
Right.
to the company. This is the objective. So any question which comes, they want to see benefit. Fayda kya ho raha hai? So now you've done a deep learning project. Now,
Yeah.
one thing I realized is, like, mine was a live industry project. So this I learned while speaking to the business owner. While
Right.
speaking to the business owner, I was telling my business owners, we as a team, we were talking about concept and technology and what we used and how we used. And when we were speaking, we realized that the business owner was not interested in it. See, the
Right.
industry outside is interested in the impact of your project.
Impact. Yeah.
So now you have done a deep learning project. Okay.
Yes.
So the tech guy over there would be testing your deep learning knowledge. Okay.
Right.
Now the manager, the higher people sitting over there, in CI deep learning project hai, theek hai. But your objective should be to show the impact of this project.
Yeah.
Fayda
Okay.
kya ho raha hai? Where is the benefit? How is the benefit? What you did to do for the benefit? Do not go too much into the tech. Now break this down. Now, literally, now see, this question is a very good question. You could even, to find the answer, break this answer down. Understand, okay, this is my project. Okay, now I have, it's a deep learning project. There are two aspects. One is the tech aspect where you can go down deep. That you
Right.
know best. Okay, now one is the aspect of presentability part. How do I present it? So
Yeah.
understand why. First is why, objective of the project. Then is
Mm,
what the steps you took to fulfill the objective of the project. Then is
right.
the challenges you faced. Okay, like a short summary. These are the steps. See, when you're explaining these, the objective, the steps you took to fulfill the objective, the challenges you faced, then the impact of your project, the problem you guys are solving, how you're understanding. I've got 5 points to speak on. So I've got I can see 5 charts in a presentation. Put and show someone and thumb. That guy will be like, ah, sort. This guy is an all-rounder. They know everything. So you're understanding, like all of your, each of like all the projects that I've made, assess the impact of the project. Assess फायदा क्या होने वाला है. Now for a deep learning, like you said, black box. See, the tech guy will ask you all tech questions that and he'll ask basic questions. Even he won't go deep because even he won't know it. But he will be much appreciated. Like, the what solution you are providing. Because like I said, if you all are a product, this like being a product of Aegis, your project is your product. You understanding us? It's like so you all how are you going to showcase your project? And the best way to showcase this project is objective impact, challenges faced, methods done to rectify these challenges, and their assessment. Just a presentation of this. And the same thing can be taken to yourself also. You guys are a product. How are you guys going to present yourselves? Your
Right.
skills, your skills, your skill sets, what challenges you faced, challenges of your past experiences. What is the objective of challenges? Challenges come to teach you something. So basically, your past experiences, what you've learned, and then this can include your extracurriculars, what you've developed, your interests, the kind of person you are. Other than the tech, can you work with a team? Like the manager looks अच्छा ठीक है ये मैं इसको मेरी टीम में लेके आया तो ये बंदा बाकी लोग के साथ बॉन्ड होगा क्या पीपल लोग समझेंगे क्या उसको एंड हाउ विल ही डिसाइड दैट बेस्ड ऑन द रिलेशन यू बिल्ड विथ हिम अगर मैं आपको समझ पा रहा हूँ at the end of trust me in some interviews I speak in English and I'm like well like so like आपको तो पता ही है I have to switch to Hindi because I know we are an Indian country and I know the interview also is comfortable in English in Hindi. See, the objective of English is just to so that you know basics of English vocabulary. So communication के लिए ठीक है. Original communication is like that you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Now in this interview, in this presentation or session as well, I've spoken majorly in English, but like sometimes I switch to Hindi, but and not majorly. Just जहाँ पर impact मेरे को डालना है ना, where I know if I speak in Hindi now ना, यहाँ पर effect ज़्यादा गिरेगा. Like right now. So this cases you can like showcase the same thing. Like your deep learning project, yeah, go for it. In fact, do this for even your portfolio projects. They want break it down. Impact assessment, objective challenges, impact, results. How did you overcome the challenges? Break it down like that. They'll be like, अच्छा ठीक है. So these guys have uh, understood their project. They built it. Because tech ka you might know better than me how to present a technical aspect. But right now in an interview, when you're presenting it in your capstone, focus more on the impact and into the tech part only when asked. Understanding? Don't start with the tech part. Then they're like, अच्छा ठीक है, ये tech वाला बंदा है, इसको present करने नहीं आता है. Because I've observed in my years of experience, there are a lot of smart people. You all guys are smart. You all know your stuff. In the industry also, there are a lot of smart people, but there are very few people who are able to present what they know. So my objective here is to give you all tips on what to focus on and what to improve on. So yeah, with your deep learning, I hope I have answered your question. You can like go ahead and go gung ho and get it.
Yes, Lendl, thank you.
Anything else? Any other questions? Yeah. Hey, I just got Ankita ma'am's message. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Nitesh this side.
Hello, Nitesh. Don't call me sir, yeah.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations. Please.
Thank you so much.
I don't have any question, but like you cover all lots of points. So I have जो Vipul ने पूछे. So बस like congratulations. That's it from my side, and you are doing well, and it's so helpful this session for me and for us. Like
Thank you so much, Nitesh. आप भी सवाल पूछो शर्मा. कुछ रहेगा तो, as in if I've answered most of it, then I'm glad I could. But if there's anything, any doubt whatsoever,
My problem is like my communication. That's it. And like I prepared from me, and like I will do my best.
okay.
Yeah.
So see, as far as communication, like I remember, no, I guess before your placements, Saranjit ma'am will ask you to write your introductions down. So you can start, or maybe they must have already told you all. So my advice to you in this situation would be write down your introduction and take the piece of paper what you've written down, review it, I think, make sure it's written correctly, and start reading it. Start आईने में देखो और जोर से पढ़ो. Once you read it, then you'll get more comfortable saying it. And at a point वो by heart भी हो जाएगा. मतलब आपको पता है अच्छा ठीक है पहले my name intro education बोला है, कहाँ से graduation किया है, work experience Genpact में था मैं, फिर वहां से बोला अच्छा ठीक है Genpact में जो सीखना था सीख लिया. I've learned what I had to learn in Genpact. Now I have to upskill myself. Same template. Trust me, copy, use the same template. My next logical step in my career was to upskill myself, and that is why I chose to come to Aegis. Data science developed a sense of curiosity in me. Simple words, simple English. The more you say it,
Yes.
the more it will come to you. Write it down, trust me. And by the time you give interviews, you'll be like, "अच्छा ठीक है." And then, like and then you can see, सामने वाले को then you can see, ऐसा हिंदी में बात करना है, English बात करना है, and interview will also be fine with you. ऐसा जरूरी है नहीं. They just want to see basically spoken English आता है क्या for normal communication. Your tech skills and all that will be, they will ऐसा ठीक है, this person knows. One thing because on a personal level, I've observed students is like they know the content, but they are hesitant because they want to say everything in English. तो English के चक्कर में क्या होता है, वो कंटेंट जो है उनका नॉलेज का वो ठीक से नहीं निकल पाता है. So instead of just worrying about English, do not worry about English. Intro English में दे दो starting में. When you have a technical question, you can explain the technical question in Hindi also, no issues. As long as you're saying it right now, use a mix of both Hindi and English, and not an issue. Just make sure that what you've been asked is correct, and yeah, that's it. So you get it. Just this advice that I told you, write it down and look in the mirror and do it. This will actually help you.
Yes, I will. And thank you so
Hi,
much.
Lendl.
Hey,
Once
Vipul.
again, just to conclude, I know we are on a time restriction right now. Just a quick question. So, did you ask any question when he asked you that do you have any other question for me? And what would you suggest that what questions should we ask? Just a rough idea.
Okay. So see, this is a must. Asking, if you do not ask questions, please ask questions. Please, like everybody, always ask questions. Asking questions shows that अच्छा ठीक है कि like interviewer यहाँ बैठा, as in, basically we are sitting an interviewer to get qualified for the interview. When you start asking questions, you are showing the interviewer that अच्छा ठीक है, you are qualifying them also. See, I also want to see if you guys are a right fit. So basically, see, the standard questions are the culture of how's the culture of the company like, or what projects you all are working on currently. So you keep it simple, keep one or two, and it depends. Now, for example, if your interview is going very nicely, you can ask how is the culture in the company, or what kind of projects are you on. Or this is my personal favorite. Every interview I have done. So like I understand now this again, like the subconscious trick I told her. So this is a big trick. Please use it. Okay, so I should be like, sir, now irrespective of how my interview is gonna, just pay close attention. Irrespective, good or bad, I should ask this. So I understand now you have assessed me, and I have given the interview. So just like I want to understand. Say uh, if if you happen to hire me, and if I get the job, so could you tell me like what is the career path? What is laid ahead for me? What would I have to do to get to a good position, and what is the path? Like what are the opportunities of growth for me in your company? So understanding what I've done, two levels. Now in answering my question, this person would already be imagining me in his company. So first I told him, sir, that like let's suppose you hire me, you think I am an ideal candidate. Use these words. So I'll say it again. You can just make a note of it. Like, so I have a question. So like you have interviewed me, you have assessed me. So let's say suppose you find me as an ideal candidate, and I am able to, and I am hired. So I just want to understand, if given an opportunity, what are the growth opportunities for me in your company? Like, what is the road ahead for me, and how do I grow in your company? And what would I have to do for it? Then first he'd be like, okay, ठीक है. He'll be like, अच्छा ठीक है, बंदे में दम है, बंदा सोच रहा है कि हम हायर कर लेंगे. Confidence, that reflects. Self belief, another aspect. This is the extra which they look at. The third is then once he's like, अच्छा ठीक है, then he'll explain to you, अच्छा ठीक है, this is the now for me it's like I join as a credit rating analyst, then the senior analyst, then I'm a sector specialist, and then team manager. That's what he's told me. So I'm like, but I do not want to go that way. I want to switch to core tech later. But let's see, that's still a long way. This is what he told me. I was like, fine, okay, sir, thank you. And what do I have to do? So he's like, see, then he's like, see Lendl. See what he said. Then I asked him, so what do I have to do to get there? He's like, see Lendl. This process takes time. But now see, now he's also talking as if I'm in the company. He's like, see Lendl, there are people who do good work, and there are people who do really good work. So in a year also, if you can in a year also, you can jump to senior analyst. So I'm like, अच्छा ठीक है. So understanding now, so of course, I have not got the job, but he's already talking to me like, हाँ, see bro, तू अच्छा काम करेगा तो senior analyst बन भी जाएगा. Done. So like at the back of the mind, when the interview goes, he's like, अच्छा ठीक है. So these are the things. These small things make you stand out from the rest. So like you're basically planting seeds in his head to see the outcome you want, and understand this is a war. Understand the objective. Like from this session, take out. This is a war. What is the objective? Objective is to present this product as a skill, and how to maneuver this when you face a rejection or when you face a question. जहाँ पर भी दिक्कत आ रही, I hope you guys know how to counter it. And the conclusion. So conclusion भी हमने क्या किया है? We have put into that guy's mind कि अच्छा, this guy wants to work in a company. So what are you showcasing? As an interviewer, I'm saying, अच्छा, this guy wants to work in my company. This guy wants to grow in my company. This guy wants to learn also how to grow in my company. अच्छा ठीक है. So भले ही if you may have not answered the tech questions full 50-50 था वो tech वाला part, where you have made an impact, your introduction and your conclusion. Like what I said, people remember the start, people remember the end. In the middle, it's like अच्छा ठीक है. So I hope I've answered.
That's why I asked you the question, like, if the introduction is strong, then how do we conclude the interview?
This simple same template, sir. If you have assessed me, if given an opportunity, if you think I am the ideal candidate, what growth opportunities are there, and what should I do to get them? Okay, that's good.
Absolutely, I'll jot those things down.
Yes. And there are others like culture and other things. But this is it. This is enough. But this one is my favorite. This is like my best weapon, which I keep at the end.
Sure.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Other questions coming up? Okay, so you might have seen in last 1 year how much Lendl has learned, right? Just because of his curiosity, and we are really proud of you, Lendl. The way you have, learned everything, and I know when we used to teach you, the way you used to ask the question, we were sure that you will go a long way, right? And you are doing justice to whatever you have learned, and we at Aegis wish you all the best for your future, and we are sure that you will do wonders in your life. All right. So, and it was one of the best way to give it back to your juniors and give it back to your society, right? And again, to my current students, those who are into their final year, into like about to pass out and face the interviews. This should be like a booster for you guys, right? I really don't think you require anything else now. I mean, any other sort of confident building sort of sessions you require now, this should be enough for you. And Lendl has covered everything that you require to face any data science interview, right? And only the thing is, and Lendl, let me tell you, they are actually doing a lot of practice, I would say, and we expect that they will be doing good into their interviews as well. They are really working hard. And if you see, guys, whatever Lendl said, I just want to add up one thing. You will be able to do everything. I mean, whatever he said is like how to tackle the interview, right? You will be in a position to do all these things if you hold your nerve. If you're nervous, you won't be able to do anything. You will mess up, right? And you to Lendl batch, we always used to say the same thing. you have done good job. I mean, you have spent a good amount of time here working on data science, I mean, different subjects of data science, and you are, I mean, you are done with whatever is expected, right? Now, at this point of time, only the finishing is required that you are doing, right? And there is no way possible that you should be nervous, right? And that is what is expected from you now. All right. And again, Landon, that was really, I mean, inspiring session. That's what I feel. And I think, yeah, I can see the energy into the students as well. That really boosted the confidence of everyone, those who attended this session. So thank you, Landon, for the wonderful insights that you have given. And let me tell you, I can tell you, like, whatever he has learned in 11 months and like 2 or 3 months of job, he has put it across very well. So thank you once again, Landon.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. You've been very kind, sir. I feel really honored and proud that I'm able to give back to my college so soon. I was not expecting this. I was like, okay. I'm like,
we will call you, but we won't leave you so easily.
yes, sir. So definitely. Always there to help, sir, with even more. Thank you so much. And I really have really high hopes for this coming batch. And I'm sure they will do good. And like, yeah, they all look positive. And like how sir said, do not be nervous. Like confidence आ जाएगा. Preparation is key. वो preparation से ही confidence आ जाएगा. So I have complete faith in you all. You all will do well. And faculty is always there with you all. See, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Please remember all these dialogues which I've thrown. I hope it helps and those words remember like are there with you guys. So do well, stay strong, and give me a treat when you all get placed. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Your treat is to
Thank you so much.
I was supposed to. I was planning on coming down with the sweets. I thought I would be there on campus. I really wanted to meet you all.
always
But I will do plan a trip. I'll when I get a leave though.
Sure, do come and meet us.
Thank you.